Barry Navidi, producteur. Il est le producteur de Al Pacino. Il a travaillé entre autres avec Marlon Brando, Angeline Bell, John Hurt, Johnny Depp, Elaine Symons, Paul Scofield, Debra John Huston et Rosanna Arquette. Il a produit les films suivants: The Vicar's Wife, Wilde, Salomé, The Merchant of Venice, Big Bad Love, Mr. Corbett's Ghost. Mesdames, Messieurs, Barry Navidi.
So first of all, thank you for taking the time to speak with us this afternoon. My first question for you would be, what does it mean to be a producer?
I think number one is you have to have the passion and the persistency to have patience, basically. Because if you don't have that, then there's no room. But above all, as a producer, you really have to learn how to read material. It's really picking the right material, number one.
For sure. And what would be the most stressful aspect in that case of being a producer?
Well, you know, once you find the material that you fall in love with, because it's like finding a location, like real estate. You find the location first before you build a house. Once you found the material that you're in love with and you want to spend a couple of years of your life putting it together, then the stress will begin by raising money for it, by optioning the material perhaps, and also, of course, casting it. So all those combinations could take weeks or months. And that's what stress comes to it, yeah.
My question for you would be, with the new trend of online diffusion and having everything accessible on the web, how do you see the future of production?
Well, as I said previously, the good news is everybody can make a movie, and the bad news is everybody can make them because the technology is so superb. But the storytelling still is number one, that you have to find a good storytelling. Making movies, as I said, it all depends on the production side of what you really, how much money you really need to make a film. But as far as out there streaming and content of releasing pictures, I think the sky is the limit. We have more choices now to release movies than we had 20 years ago.
And I believe rejection must be part of the process. How do you come up from a failure or the rejection?
Well, look, in every field in our business, there is always rejection. I think the hardest rejection, in fact, are for actors, for the stars, for the talent, for the artists. As producers, look, the bottom line is we all get rejection, but you have to have the passion and wanting to go forward. As I said, it's not just about a dream or your persistency. You've got to have the extra desire not to give up. And we're all going to get rejections. I'll get rejections today. It's continuously going to go on because there's so many other filmmakers, so many other great producers out there, and other filmmakers want to make movies. So the competition is tough, but you just have to have the perseverance to go forward and not to get you down, because rejection happens all the time.
And like you said, perseverance is key, but do you think that there's a big luck aspect to being successful? What does it mean to be successful, or what does it take?
I think luck is when you have to prepare yourself to be lucky. Obviously, look, if you make a picture that's a box office, and that's really very lucky because nobody knows. But luck plays a game if you are kind of at the right place at the right time. How do you define that? I don't know. I was at the right place at the right time. There are much better producers than me out there, much more talented filmmakers, and probably they even work 10 times harder than me. So you need an element of luck. But you still have to be prepared. If you're not prepared, you don't know how to use that luck. So you got to be slightly prepared as well. You got to work at it. You got to work hard. So perhaps that luck comes to you.
You create your own luck, basically. A final word of advice for our young producers to be, what would it be?
Well, I always say and encourage them to find, as I said, find the right story and make sure they learn to read. It's very important. Billy Wilder once said, I asked the great writer, I said, what do you think of directors who don't write? He says, I don't care as long as they know how to read. Because it's very important, because a lot of people think they have a fantastic material, because that's where it all begins. And secondly, you know, as producers, when you start making a film, today you can do a movie for really near to nothing. And if it doesn't work, don't get discouraged. You can delete it and start the next picture, the next project. Could be short movie, whatever. But you know, don't put yourself in a position of stress because your movie may not work. The only time you're going to have a major stress when you start working with major talent, major amount of money. That's when the real big stress comes to you. But when you're starting up, you have to be bold, take chances, take risks, and try them. If it doesn't work, delete them, next one. Because there's no pressure on you as far as releasing your movie. So I always encourage the young filmmakers, don't make them quickly because you want to get them out there in a festival. No, make them, edit them, take your time on post-production, and release them the following year. Don't rush. Don't rush.
So I suppose technology would be a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah, always. That's always the parallel. Yeah, double-edged. That's a good one to describe it. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us today.
I'm happy to be here.
It was a pleasure.